Hi everyone, this is Ana Luisa here from Some Studio Milano. I'm here with Marlon.
Hello guys.
And today we are hosting our last talk for the series Back to Materials, a series about biomaterials. And we are very glad to welcome Luca and Fabio from Pensieromateria. Hello guys.
Ciao ragazzi.
Hi everyone.
Ciao, ciao. Grazie di... Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for inviting us. Yeah, let's switch to English. Sorry.
Yes, no, it's no problem. It's a mess. Italian, English, Portuguese. We have everything here. How are you guys?
Fine, good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for this talk. We have been following up with your work and projects, and we are really glad to have you here and have some time to talk about the things we have been following up on the internet and in some events here in Milan as well. So we have some questions here for you, but before we start, could you please tell us a bit about yourselves, your academic background, work experience, just so people can get to know you better?
Yes, of course. I will start just anticipating that Pensieromateria is the collective, a collective of two design studios, which are Luca Alessandrini Design Studio and Enrico. And Pensieromateria, the main objective is to actually push and drive a sustainable turn into the use of natural-based material. So yeah, just this little introduction to present ourselves. So I'm Fabio from Enrico, and then Luca Alessandrini, please present yourself. Yeah.
Fabio, if you want to tell a bit more about Enrico, I'll be glad to talk after you. Yeah, you keep going.
Yes, of course. Just a little introduction. Enrico is a design studio based in Verona, which is focused on sustainable design and circular economy. So that's our main focus through the development and the design of new materials, communication product, and design product.
Great.
Okay.
In your background, Fabio, you are a designer?
Yes, I am. I'm from, I studied in Milan, actually product design, and then I did a master in integrated product design. So the mixing between hardware product and software product. But in the studio, we have many different backgrounds, from illustration to actual economic background and so on.
Nice. And you, Luca?
Well, that's only me. Yes. Well, yeah. I'm really into R&D, not only product design. I have a background in product design, especially furniture design. But after that, I specialized myself in innovation design engineering. So I have a master in engineering that I had the chance to do in London between Royal College of Art and Imperial College. And well, there I studied what actually means disruptive processes of innovation. And nowadays is especially precious to be focused in sustainability. So most of the projects that I've done in the last year are only about sustainability and reusable of waste, mainly upcycle, and so circular economy. But together we wanted to merge our competencies, our skills, and really focusing into biomaterials and so biodesign. And well, the key rules of the joint venture are surely, again, sustainable design and consumption decreasing as well, because actually it's a very important theme to an agri-food and in order to monitor the supply chains as well.
Okay, and we actually came across your work in the Salone Satellite 2019. So we are a bit curious, how was this experience for you guys to take part in the Salone Satellite with Pensieromateria? If you could tell us a bit about that.
Of course. Well, it's always a great experience. It's a sort of a privilege, we can say. It's a great spot where you can send a message from. It's a great place you want to be if you're a young and ambitious designer. You want to show your face around in Salone Satellite. it's great because the biggest firms used to pass there. We had the chance to talk with them, and we're still talking. We're still talking, still, let's say, working with a couple of multinationals. They were interested in materials, for example. But not only, we are currently working with a couple of design firms, Italian design firms. Well, one of them is international. I can say that straight away. But yeah, we're working together from the last year. Unfortunately, we all know that 2020 has been like one of the most terrible years for everything, the design included. So it's been a difficult year, but yeah, we are still working with them. They're still dealing with us, so it's a good, it's definitely a good sign, especially nowadays.
Okay.
So again, Salone Satellite works. I suggest to every design to invest time and resources to go there. Yes.
Yeah, we actually love Salone Satellite. It's the first place we go in the Salone.
Yeah.
For us, is the best. You can find so many nice things and designs and research. So, and now let's talk a bit more about some of the objects that you design out of waste. If you could talk about some of them, and maybe you have some to show us.
Of course, yes, we do. We also uploaded some pictures in the Google Drive. We're expecting to you to show them, as far as I understand, or maybe they are just in the platform. If you want, I can.
In this case, they are in the platform, so people who are watching us can go there after and check out all the pictures. They will be there in the Pensieromateria profile.
Maybe I can. I don't know if this option is available. I can try to share the screen and show them. We have a few nice pictures of them. Are you?
We can try. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure.
Technical part. But
Yes, because Isola is in charge.
All right. So, do you want me to do it, or do you want to wait for like your guy?
Maybe you show us the objects, and then we see.
Yeah, maybe I can start showing a couple of objects while they're figuring out the the shared driving stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One of the first object that I want to show is a little experimentation with tomato, with 3D printed tomato, and this is a little pocket emptier. This is just a prototype. And we have a better version, a polished version, somewhere around the studio. The point in this little object was just to inspire and just to be a base for a scalable approach to a product that can close a little circle, let's say. So this small pocket emptier was just a memento, let's say like that, to inspire maybe the production of tomato boxes for the harvesting of tomatoes. So closing little gaps between the material and the source of the material. Another project that I want to show you is just right behind me. Is there? You can see is the arc lamp. Yeah, and that is also made by additive manufacturing, so 3D printed. Actually, the structure is 3D printed, and the frame outside is made from coffee wastes. So the overall shape of the object was just to represent, let's say, semantically recall the structural element, the structural cell of the Italian architecture, so the arco, let's say. And this was more a sort of philosophical, like recall to the aspect, saying so that this is a base to construct and to experiment with new materials. So that was the intent. Also, the lamp is actually a mix of Italian symbols like coffee, like the art, but also technological like inputs. So all the interaction with the lamp is gestural based. So you don't have to touch it to light it up or dimmer it. Is like, let's say, a COVID a COVID solution, like COVID ready.
Very good. Yes, this is amazing, really. And we saw that some of your pieces are in the Rinascente here in Milan.
Correct.
And we actually went there to see it, and they look very, very nice. And we were wondering how this happened, because we know that the Rinascente chose you from 9 other brands with the project Food as a Design Object. So if you guys could talk about this as well.
Talking about food, we also, part of the products that we presented to the Salone Satellite and went to Rinascente, yes, they were also still as Fabio said, in the same logic of using the waste of the production chain, food production chain, so the peel, the tomato peel especially, and the seeds, but mainly the peel, were actually made to design cutleries. So again, the waste that comes back to, I can't show you that now, but I guess you can see that on the platform. And so the idea of bringing back the waste on the table, that was one of the main concepts, as already Fabio said. Moreover, one of the pieces, yes, it was exposed to and put on sale on the Rinascente was actually a plate, so something to hold food again. So food waste comes back as part of the daily life object still related to food. Again, it's an idea, it's a circular idea, a concept. Moreover, we also brought to the Satellite a couple of few more like objects, such as it's actually on the cover of our
yes, the lamp.
Yeah. The lamp, yes, it's out of orange peel waste. It's a compound. And also we worked with mycelium as well for an Italian brand that is called Mogu.
Yeah.
And we brought one of their pieces there. It was a sort of a premiere for them. Now they are actually incrementing quite a lot of the production. But anyway, but in Rinascente especially, we also brought a very nice piece that I really like. Maybe Fabio, you want to talk about it. Was actually the hat, the holder. You remember it?
The hat holder.
Yes, it was pretty nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was inspired by the little hook that keep the shouting windows, the panels of the windows like stuck in the wall, and so we recall this typical Italian like shape to a new function, mixing tomato, 3D printed again, polymer, and then marble. Yeah. And that was just a little experimentation also, yeah.
As Fabio, you probably were about to say, also the marble comes from marble waste, correct?
Yes, yes, indeed.
And mixing those two, one with additive manufacturing, so 3D printing, and the other one with subtractive, altogether sort of a very novel material such as marble, and again 3D printed and more of a sort of a smart, but still coming from waste. It was a nice concept.
Yeah, it's very nice. Unfortunately, we cannot show here, but we will share the link from your profile, and then people on Instagram as well, and then people can later see all these amazing designs. And now talking also about biomaterials, for you guys, what's the future of biomaterials? And what's the biggest challenge for designers working with this type of material, in your opinion?
I mean, biomaterial, they're the only possible solution to the integration and to the realization of a circular economy, a circular complete economy. The biggest challenge facing this realization is not the actually producibility and the scalability of the process, but more the shift in mentality from a price-driven mentality to a value-driven. So it's more a mental barrier than actual a realizability of the production. Yeah. And that's it's totally doable. I mean, the only thing is the organization of the value chain that has to be again themed by the designer. So that's the only biggest thing that is blocking us. But again, the biggest thing is the mentality, is giving value to a product not just by its price, but actually but the sustainability and the impact that a material has on the environment. So that's the biggest barrier.
Okay, I see. And young designers, we see that they are a bit like alchemists nowadays. They mixed science with design. You see yourself a bit like this. How do you see yourselves like producing and researching and experimenting with biomaterials?
I mean, biomaterials are actually very, very exciting to hold in your hands. I mean, and once you have this kind of innovation and technology in your hands, is really temptation, to actually start and scale up the process and actually thinking about to produce actually some of this material. And I mean, this kind of feeling sensation is scalable and can be applied to different industries, not only sustainable materials. And we see more designer and makers that actually start their own startups based on these new sustainable technologies and materials. So yeah, we see more and more designers actually start creating their own companies. And that's absolutely positive.
Yeah. Okay, and since Pensieromateria is also born out of a collaboration through companies, right? Through studios coming together, what's the role of collaboration for Pensieromateria? How important is it?
I mean, collaboration is everything. Also, the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, at the point 17 value the partnership to actually push the change toward a sustainable future. So the collaboration is essential, and these all things started as a collaboration, and we will go on as a collaboration very proudly. I mean, it's essential. Collaboration is the key.
Yes, we totally agree, especially when we talk about circular economy and sustainable products. And we also know that Pensieromateria work with some companies giving consultancy for companies that are interested in working with sustainable and circular process. How this works, this kind of consultancy, could you explain a bit?
Well, it's surely a complex, let's say, job. It's really done by many stages and many parts. It's really about having a global, surely having analysis instruments. We're not only talking about the life cycle assessment. It's really about, starting from the analysis of the waste to literally building the entire supply chains when needed. So to reuse again the waste and reintroduce it in the production system. Yeah, of course, at the base of it. So the main reason the moves company to do this sort of to ask for the sort of a consultancies is the economical sustainability. So really, you want to prove, you want to make sure that what you're doing is going to really bring benefit to the company itself. We are surely in a let's say in a stage where market is surely is the most driven at the moment for a company to decide to invest in sustainability. Unfortunately, we'll say, but still is something that is moving on. And from our side, again, is convincing people and bringing evidences that moving in that side is bringing them benefit. Again, economically, in terms of branding, but it's, and of course, in terms of, again, making their investment sustainable.
Okay, and yeah, and you so the communication is one of the bigger barriers. So you feel that you need to raise their awareness and kind of persuade these companies to go on this sustainable direction?
Well, yes. Communication is a way to make them understand how to bring value to their markets. And it's well, it's a bit of a complex system. It goes in a sort of a circular relation between the user choice, again, communication, and the branding itself. The final output should be the user education, so the final user education. But of course, it doesn't really come so systematically. It's really about the user that makes the difference with their own choices. Again, if you really are able, if you're really able to understand what's the benefit of it in terms of a simplified systems, for example, or even bringing evidences of saving part of the process, saving money in the process itself, and mutually good with the communication of a sustainable branding strategy usually is well accepted nowadays, because again, the user choice nowadays is looking into sustainability. Hopefully it won't be a proper trend, only a trend, but we cannot afford it. We cannot afford this being only a trend, let's say. But we can surely hope that something is moving on. Let's see in the future what is going to happen.
Yeah, we hope so. So since we are talking about 3D and different technologies and biomaterials, what is the role of innovative materials and technologies in your work?
It really is really game changing. I mean, once you have these kind of technologies and this new material in your hand, you have to think broader. In a broad picture, you have to take a step back from the design brief that may come, and just take a perspective that comprehend a more wide system to actually have an impact, to actually use it wisely, and to actually fulfill all its potential. I mean, it's just a matter of putting together the value chain and putting into communication and activate partnerships between these actors. And once you have these technologies, you actually can start thinking in a broad perspective, in a wider image, pictures. And that's the main impact, yeah.
Okay. And now a more personal kind of question. Who or what currently inspires your work? You can take turns and both answer.
It's nice when me and Fabio were like trying to give the same, a unique answer to this question. We had quite models, but it's really interesting to see how nowadays it's really building up. I mean, it's really happening somehow. Of course, you got the let's say the pioneers from Victor Papanek. You know, he was talking about sustainability from the 80s or even earlier, probably. And there's of course, you brought a quote here because you can't talk about someone without quoting it at least once. So it was Victor Papanek was saying again in this case in the 90s. Perhaps was saying there should be no special category called sustainable design, because of course sustainability should be a part of design itself, as a shifting between product to system, again, putting the attention to a product, a life cycle, instead than just an outcome that can be put on the market as itself. Moreover, surely nowadays there are a few realities able to create proper systems. I mean, making systems between different entities that work together in a virtual pattern, being able to actually make a proper impact, let's say. And we're talking about surely realities such as Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Everybody knows her. Everybody knows. We can say that as most of the people say, she was the earlier Greta, let's say. but other realities that are really making a proper impact are, for example, Life 3 N3P, or like the Circle Economy Network in Europe, and they are sponsored. They are helped by the European Union properly, and again through sustainable practices built on solid models. They really able to make project of, for example, waste in management and upcycle through re-putting the waste with the waste in the that really works, is documented, is proved. And I'll ask to Fabio to if he wants to integrate about other inspiring figures that you would like to, I don't know, up to.
I mean, you have been pretty substantial, so maybe we can, we can leave it there. I mean, the list might go on and be really full, but actually, the main objective is there are some people like you've listed, Luca. A sort of I don't know how to say, an heritage of this kind of movement, which again we hope is not just a trend of sustainability. And there are visionaries more actually kind of sideways from the design world and more into the entrepreneurship. And they're moving, I mean, a big chunk of markets, and they're pushing into a sustainable turn. And we can list them, and we can like them or not, but actually I'm talking the big ones like, I don't know, Amazon or all the technology ones, and actually even in the automobile and battery industries like Tesla and so on. So there are many figures actually that can be inspiring in the way they are thinking or rethinking the systems, and the list might go on. So yeah, we can even move on.
Yeah, that's great. So now in terms of work process, what part of your work process do you enjoy the most? Research, conceptualization, experimentation? What do you like best?
I think the concept part might be the actual favorite, because after you've done some research, you actually can space with your mind to all these scenarios possible with these new technologies and materials. And actually in that phase, you're not yet crushed by the reality of things. When actually you have to accept the fact that you cannot do anything, and there are certain rules and constraints that are holding us back. But this is part of the game. I mean, we enjoy in doing that. And maybe, conceptualization after the realization of the product. So having in your hand actually something that wasn't existing, it's also a good part. But conceptualization just for the dreamily feelings. Just
I see. Yeah.
For Luca, I don't know which.
Or
even for you.
Well, I really enjoyed the part of the analysis. I mean, where you can really, if you using proper tools in order to, have a proper, realistic idea of the impact of what you are proposing, and how products are already on the market are actually having, and how you can really, the pleasant feeling is that in most of the time you can really have the chance to improve it, because there's not much attention nowadays for current product, not for most of for the biggest part of the products currently on the market. I mean,
I see. And the next question: where do you see the work of Pensieromateria going on the future, the near future? What's next, let's say?
What's next? Well, we're currently working on some proposals in terms of brands that they contacted us during the Saloni. We given the 2021 proposals, and of course we are. It's about product design in this case, but it's about proposing products with sustainable materials and processes. It's nice to deal with companies most of the time. The issue, well, it's a probably natural procedure of this sort of work, but it takes ages. It takes a lot. Of course, you're dealing with some with production system that is already stable. It's economically controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Decide to invest, they really want to make their life more difficult most of the time. But of course, because they are sure, they are confident they can have a part of a outcome. They are literally asking you to give you the proof of it. So yeah, they already know what they want. They already know what they want to hear. So
Oh,
I mean, I'm kidding, obviously. Of course, creativity, new proposals, and new solutions are surely what they want to know. But that's what is going on at the moment. Sustainable processes for product design, plus again materials, new waste streams be used in making compounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only tomato. That's the point.
Okay. Okay, that's great. We are looking forward to see what's coming next. Whenever you guys can promote that, we'll be following up. And now the next question and the last one. For you guys, what's the biggest challenge that designers face helping us to shift from a linear to a circular economy?
Fabio, you want to start?
Yeah, of course.
Second part.
As already said, the challenge is a shift on the mindset of companies, like anticipated by Luca. I mean, they already know what they want to hear, and in consumers, like markets, want to call them people. I mean, and this is the biggest challenge, and also maybe the policies that are steering the wheel of economy. I mean, we are trying to move around a dense net of constrictions, especially in Italy, with the wastes of productions, and that's a really big problem, because these policies are made for old systems that new technologies and material are actually evolving them. They're evolving them. So breaking this barrier of policies and actually communicating right the sustainability shift to change rapidly the mentality. And also the challenge for designers is again maybe to leave behind the ego from the old fashion design. I mean, the old fashioned style of doing design, and actually start collaborating with each other, with companies, and with different realities to break the bubble and actually start, getting your hand dirty and actually start to collaborate, thinking about this waste and reusable and problem and all the sustainable logics. I mean, because as a designer, designing new products that already exist is kind of useless now. I mean, what we have to do is rethinking systems, rethinking chains to actually improve and make a change. So yeah, that's the challenges, the biggest challenges. I don't know if Luca want to contribute to this thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, well, thank you, Fabio. Surely, yes. I just had well, yes. Monday, I just had a sort of a lecture to the Politecnico di Milano. I just gave a lecture, so I'm really still warm. Let's say I still have a consciously clear mind. As I was mentioning before, like as also Fabio surely mentioned, today we see we are still in an earlier phase of this sort of a shifting. Again, the biggest driven is the market itself, so user choice, and companies are really using it as a lever to increase and change, do a sort of a brand shifting, let's say, thanks to the communication, and we can still call this a sort of greenwashing. That's probably market-driven sustainability. Well, what we want to aim to is, again, as I mentioned before, is the user education. So user is aware and to what is about to consume and to buy. We are not talking only about product, but for example, food is a good example of, and there's a lot of sustainability process systeming, let's say, to do there, surely. What I'm saying is that nowadays probably the new job, the new value of a designer is also to not only to make new sustainable products, but also to make tools for the consumers. I mean, we have a lot of few tools to analyze how a product is sustainable or not. LCA, for example, all the softwares related to that. But my hunt, I don't know, be able to buy a Tupperware or not buying it or doing something else. Surely the designers, for example, digitalization, there are few apps nowadays. There are actually good tools to understand if you want to buy clothes made out of silk or cotton, which is the most sustainable, for example, or like if you want to decide to buy that specific food or not. And those are new challenges for designers. So not only about products, but again about tools for consumers. That will be surely a good again challenge and job to actually increase the user education that gives that actually is able to turn the market. But the market, of course, needs to be economically sustainable, and only the user education, building up a specific market trend that will be only in that way being able to be economically sustainable will actually make the difference for companies to shift their production system and their product themselves. Moreover, a very important subject in this scenario are the institutions. We're talking about European Union. Well, nowadays, Fabio knows it for sure. We have still a sort of blurry line in the waste reusage. Is possible? Is legal? Is not legal? Well, there's still laws made in the 80s because Italy is not a primary matters source. It's not rich of natural resources. So the time and the institution were protecting Italy to not be, to not waste their few resources. So they said, well, let's make the waste reusage illegal. Then nowadays, if you want to make upcycle systems reusing waste, it's a bit of a difficult. There were like few sentences, but again, we have economical sustainability and institution that needs to regulate and make laws in order to make models of sustainable production more solid and again sustainable.
There's a long way to go, but hopefully we will get there.
We are on the way.
Yes. Okay, guys, so we run out of time. Thank you very much for taking part in our talk. Congrats on your amazing work.
Thank you, guys.
We will add the link to the Isola platform so people can see all the pictures. So in the description of this video, we will add the link. And you guys who are watching us, if you can go ahead and follow up with Luca Alessandrini, Henry & Co. and Pensieromateria Instagram. It's really worth it just to get to know more about their work. And thanks again, Isola, for hosting us. And we hope to speak soon.
Yeah.
And thanks a lot. We will follow
up
with the next news coming from Pensieromateria in the near future.
Thank you very much, guys. It's been amazing. Thank you to Isola as well.
Ciao, grazie mille. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao.